Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is Wednesday the 1st of November 2017, and we've just been to see The Exorcist. Open the house. My name's James.
My name's Vicky.
Okay, and we've just been to see The Exorcist.
We have indeed.
What did you think?
Well, what a rollicking ride that was.
It really was. I suppose we should be honest here and say that we've just recorded this podcast and we realised it didn't actually record.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose fault that was. Whose fault was that?
Whoever pressed the button, I don't know.
Oh, don't think they was over my fingers. They didn't press that button.
So it was really funny the first time around, wasn't it? An insightful review.
I thought I did really well and I was quite cheerful.
Yeah, so this one's going to be shit rubbish.
Yeah, stop the cursing.
Yeah, no cursing, no cursing. All right, so let me give you some information about it. All right, so it was directed by Sam Mathias, written by John Pielmeier.
I still don't feel you've got that right, even on the second attempt.
Adapted from the novel by William Peter Blatty.
Yeah.
At the Phoenix Theatre, and it runs until the 10th of March 2018.
A substantial run, I believe, is what I said the last time we recorded this. / didn't record it.
All right, and let's just talk about the main cast. So we had Jenny Seagrove playing the mother, Chris. We had Peter Bowles playing Father Merrin. Adam Garcia playing Father Karras. And we also had Claire Louise Connolly playing Reagan.
There were other people in this as well. There was a couple of doctors.
Not really anyone worth
mentioning. Burke.
Burke.
The film director
Burke
guy.
Was good. We'll come back to him. Tristan Wymark.
Good name.
Tristram Wymark.
You don't hear that name very often these days, do you?
Right, give us a quick synopsis. What happens in it?
Okay, so for anyone who hasn't watched the film, it's about a demonic possession. A girl essentially gets possessed by a demon, and then her mother is concerned about her increasingly poor behaviour and demands an exorcism.
Yeah.
And then a couple of guys come in, priests, let's call them priests, and then they try and sort it out.
Without giving it away, it's basically the film on stage.
It's just, yeah.
So if you've seen the film, it's basically that.
It is pretty much absolutely that.
That's it, we're done.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Okay, what did you think? First impressions?
It's the way it started. There was the audience got quite excited, didn't they? Right at the beginning.
We should mention actually that we got an upgrade for our tickets.
We did.
Yeah. So we were supposed to be right at the back of the stalls, and we got upgraded to row E, which is like 5 away from the front. It
is. I doubted you last time, but I feel you might be correct. So we had great seats, aisle seats.
Lovely seats.
And what's great about the Phoenix Theatre is that there's an aisle down the centre. So we were in the centre, but we had aisle seats. I mean, when does that happen?
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. And there was a very rude group that came in right at the end, right before it was about to start, and demanded that the whole row move for them.
Yeah, they were a bit rude.
They were rude.
Yeah.
What do you think about the theatre etiquette, the crowd?
I feel there were some people there who were possibly unused to being in a theatre, but before you accuse me of being a theatre snob, I think this is good. I think
you're preempting everything I'm saying.
It's funny it's like we've done it before. So there was something that happened at the beginning, and there was like lots of screams and great hilarity in the audience.
Lots of whelping.
James has forgotten how to use the English language. Yelping.
Loads of yelping and whooping, but I'm going to call it whelping.
Okay, fine.
All right, so let's get into the performances.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the mother.
Yeah.
Okay, played by Jenny Seagrove.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I didn't warm to her immediately. Weirdly, she sort of reminded me of Jamie Lee Curtis. And it's just but with sort of thicker hair.
And not as attractive.
No. Initially, I wasn't that fond of her, but as she became more and more desperate, I grew to like her more.
It's very hard if you're following like an Oscar winner like Ellen Bernstein, who played the mother in the film, and I know we're not
I still
comparing.
feel like that's not her name.
It is no, we're not. I know
Burston, isn't it Burston?
Bernstein. Alan
feel like it's
Bernstein. It's Bernstein.
I'm googling this in a minute.
Anyway, I know we're not comparing it to the film, but it's very hard not to. So I think I enjoyed her performance as it went along.
Yeah.
But it took a while to get into it.
Yeah. Which I believe is what I just said.
I'm just going to copy everything you said.
Fine. You just repeat all my words.
I'll tell you who I did like.
Tristram. What? You got a problem with his name?
I really like Tristram Wymark.
As Burke the director?
Yes.
Yeah, he was good, actually.
Not the director of the play.
No.
He played a director in the...
Yes, let's make that clear.
Yeah, just to avoid confusion.
He was good.
Yeah, he was very good.
He was sort of big and camp and fun, wasn't he?
And provided a bit of comic relief.
Yeah, there was some humour in him.
Because it's quite a heavy piece.
Yeah, but they did manage to bring some humour into it.
A few knock jokes.
There was some knock jokes.
Not ones that we can repeat here, unfortunately.
No, there were rude words. Rude. Yeah.
Quite a few rude bits, really.
There were some rude bits.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think of Reagan?
I did think she was good, actually.
Yeah. I mean, very hard to keep that performance up for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. And she did... So the voice, when the demon took a hold of her...
Yeah.
Her voice was no longer hers.
So let's get on to this.
So this is
whose voice was it?
Well, who could it be? It's that voice I really recognised. Could it be Syrian McKellen?
So basically, Gandalf was the demon.
Yeah, which did not sit right with me.
Oh, it didn't work, did it?
It was like my granddad was like telling me to suck cocks in hell.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
It wasn't quite right, was it?
Are you on your own, Reagan? Shall I tell you a story? Yeah.
Because I think initially when the demon was trying to possess her, he was trying to become her friend, and it sort of suited, didn't it? But when he became like really evil later on, it just wasn't quite right, was it?
So who would you have had as a demon voice?
Well, I did suggest Brian Blessed.
No,
I'm not sure he's right.
Work.
Someone evil. Who's evil?
Oh, gosh. Donald Trump?
Oh, could you imagine Donald Trump being the voice of the demon?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be quite current, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And I suppose that was a thing for me, actually, if we pull it back to the performance. It was just lifted from the film. So there was nothing new. So if you'd seen the film a load of times, then it was nothing new. But if you'd only seen it once or twice, then I suppose it was quite a nice event. And the audience were very receptive.
They were. Her lip syncing as well was very good.
Yeah, it was, when she was talking like that.
I'm Ian McKellen.
All right, so and the last person really we should talk about is a wonderful Mr. Peter Bowles.
Oh, Peter Bowles. I really thought he was dead. I know, that's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
we haven't seen him for a long time, have we?
He's just been in Victoria season 2.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch that. Anyway,
he looked very well, and I'll tell you what, he's very tall.
He is very tall.
I never thought he was that tall, because usually when you see people on TV, they're smaller than you think, but not him. He's
maybe he has special high shoes.
I was trying to look at his shoes at the end. I think he was on heels, but
cute little pair of Cuban heels,
cheeky little Cubans. All right, but
he wasn't actually in it that much, though, was he?
No, he was in it about 5 seconds at the start.
Yeah, so it could have been anyone. It didn't need to be Peter Bowles.
But because we were so close because of our wonderful seats, we were able to confirm that it was Peter Bowles.
It was Peter Bowles, and I'm very happy to see him, that he's still alive.
Right, good stuff. Okay, so there's not much point us going into too much detail about the story and the plot, because if you know the film, it's basically they've just ripped the film. I mean, there were some dodgy bits.
There's a few bits that are a little bit different, but essentially the plot is the same.
Yeah. I quite like the attic scenes. Some of those bits were added and extras. And stuff like that. But I'm trying to. It's hard for me to think of any other. There wasn't like special features, new additions.
No, they were pretty faithful, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
I suppose not. No, well, yeah, because people are going to see it. Really, I think the audience wants to see it. Wants to see The Exorcist.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's what they got.
That's what they got, kind of. All right. What did you think of the lighting and sound?
I thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really built atmosphere, didn't it?
Yeah. Even before the curtain lifted, there was sort of all these strange sort of demonic murmurings being played into the auditorium.
Yes.
Which and the lighting was quite dim, wasn't it? So the curtain was like really red, and it was quite atmospheric.
It helped the audience up.
Yeah.
Because there's something that happens right at the start, and everybody whelped and cheered.
I think we've covered this already.
Have we done this?
Yeah.
Probably 4 times
Whelping.
now.
The audience couldn't stop whelping.
All the way through. Okay. All right. And what about the staging?
I thought it was pretty well done. They managed to get quite a lot of sort of different rooms and spaces into what essentially was not a massive stage.
I like to use the word intimate at this stage, Vicky.
This is a joke from earlier. If you'd have listened to the podcast that we didn't record, you'd get that.
You find that incredibly funny.
Yeah.
But it is an intimate theatre, and I think the stadium was quite intimate to match that.
Yeah. I thought it was well done. There was one thing I didn't say this previously that annoyed me a little bit at the start. There was a door that was open, and it was sort of either blowing in the wind or being pushed about by a demon.
I think the demon,
and it was shaking. The door
yes,
case was shaking.
The set was shaking
that
a little
really
bit.
Annoyed me.
Yeah, I mean there was. It only opened yesterday, so I think it's still kind of got a few teething problems. I think that's fair.
Yeah, and that was the only problem with the set that I had.
Yeah, I could see through the back wall at one point.
Oh dear,
that was annoying.
That's poor.
Yeah. All right. So, and we should really talk about makeup and hair because this is a very noticeable change from Reagan when she has like normal hair to a rather terrible wig.
Yeah, demon hair.
Demon hair. And it didn't work. It for me, it made me feel it was very hard to concentrate and take it seriously, especially when she was doing things like the pea suit moment. So if anyone,
yeah, the sick bit moment wasn't particularly well done.
It was very badly done. They should have just not done it.
Yeah, they tried to sort of shoehorn it in, didn't they?
Yeah.
She just did a little vom over her shoulder. What?
It was rubbish.
But yeah, I forgot to mention as well the projections. They used quite a lot of projection. Have I said this already? In the one we didn't record.
No, this is new.
They used quite a lot of projections.
But projections are quite easy, aren't they? You just project things onto
they're
a
pretty
wall.
well done. They're pretty well done, though. I felt.
Yeah, it was okay, but it's not hard, is it? To project something.
Fine, whatever. Move on.
All right, have you got any standout moments? Now, for me, you'll be surprised to know that the attic scenes pretty well.
Oh, the attic scenes.
Yeah, they were big standout moments because I was still quite nervous at the start by then, and you know you're not used to the format and the running because it's quite formulaic. You go to the bedroom, then somewhere else, back to the bedroom, somewhere else, back to the bedroom. Yeah. But before that, in the attic, it's like with the Ouija board, all quite spooky. Yeah. And then obviously Ian McKellen started talking. And then, hello,
Reagan. Oh, Ian, Sir Ian.
Oh, wonderful performance, but not the right actor. I don't think.
No, but I mean, they did well to get him in it, didn't they?
Did you ever stand up?
I know how we'll get the punters in. Ian McKellen. Box ticked.
Did you have a stand-up moment?
Not really, but I mean, probably the attic bit was. Well,
you've got your own stand-up moment, or just going to jump on my bandwagon?
I'm jumping on your bandwagon.
All right, okay. All right, well, that's our review then. So, do you like it?
Yeah, I did actually thoroughly enjoy it.
I did. It was a good night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun.
All right, so we're back and we're going to get right onto our feature. What are you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
That's it. That's the name of the feature.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Silly.
So what we do, obviously, is every time we go to the theatre, Vicky will buy a bottle of water.
Because I'm obsessed with hydration.
She really is.
Yeah.
And we are going to price that and put it on our league table. Now, unfortunately, we've only got the young Vic up there at the moment. We didn't get the one from the Gielgud.
No, we didn't.
No, I haven't got the Gielgud. So it's just the young Vic. It's leading at the moment with a reasonable priced water of £1.70.
Which, I mean, is not actually that reasonably priced. But in the land of theatre...
In the land of our league table,
I mean, that's pretty good.
It's right at the top of the league table.
Yeah.
So let's add the Phoenix. So how much was the Phoenix?
Well, I can tell you, it was £2.70.
You're joking.
I know.
I'm just going to write that down.
Okay. Yeah, good writing.
Which puts it number 2.
On a league table of 2.
So it's right at the bottom of the league table. So far, the Phoenix Theatre has got the most expensive water.
Yeah, it's poor. It's really poor.
Where the Young Vic has got the least expensive water.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done, Young Vic.
Great. Right, so let's get on to the scores. Okay. So, Vicky, performances. Do you want to go first?
So, I'm allowed half points, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, performances... Oh, I kind of feel like when we did this and didn't record it earlier on, I was a bit mean.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. It's not much more than what I gave it before.
Okay, and why 7?
Because they weren't perfect. In fact, now I'm thinking I should go back to what before. Some of the performances were quite deeply flawed, but I still think it was great and I enjoyed it. So yeah, why not?
Brilliant. All right, I'm going to give it 7.5. I thought you were a bit tight there, really. I thought the performances were good. Certainly, the effort that Reagan put in alone.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
And Ian did a good job.
Ian did a great job.
He
just didn't fit, did he?
Yeah. Okay, so for staging and technical, I'm going to give it a whopping 9. Because
that's strong.
There was a lot of staging and a lot of technical stuff going on, and I did a good job, I thought. Vix?
Mainly because of the wobbly door, I'm going to give it an 8.5, which I think, considering there was a wobbly door, is still quite high.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going for that. It was well done.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, straight on to narrative, which in layman's term means the story. Well,
I mean, the story. It's a classic story of the demons inside us, religion. I mean, it's a strong narrative, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go 8.5.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Get out of 10.
Yeah, I loved but the story's brilliant, and you can't knock the story. It was taken straight from the film. And I think it's an amazing story. So 9.5, definitely all the way there.
I mean, it's a pretty good story.
It's an amazing story.
Okay, fine.
Right, originality. Right, this is where it goes down a bit for me, because I don't think it's very original. I'm going to give it a 4. And I'll tell you why, Vicky.
Okay. So please do.
Because it was just copied from the film.
It was pretty much copied from the film.
Yeah.
Apart from Sri McCallum was not in the film.
That's a very good point.
Okay, so I feel a 4 is a bit too harsh. So I'm going to go for 5.
Great. And last category, was it worth it?
I have to say, even though it was flawed and it was basically just the film in a smaller space, I really, really enjoyed it. So, what the heck? I'm going to go for a 9.
Good for you. And do you know what? I feel the same. I enjoyed it. I had a good night.
Yeah.
It was fun to see. So
it was fun.
It was fun. I'm
Yeah,
going to give it an 8. All right, so totting up the scores, like lightning, that's 76 out of 200.
James has been totting up the scores the whole time I've been talking. Don't believe this lightning talk. It's nonsense.
Right, anyway, which means it gets a percentage of 38%. Okay, which means...
I don't know how your maths works here, but I'm trusting in everything you say.
I'm a little bit concerned about my maths as well, actually.
But let's just go for this score out of 5. I think that's about right.
So, if it gets 76 out of 200...
This maths is... We clearly haven't worked on this beforehand. The system... like the acting, is flawed.
Okay, well, we're too tired to do anything about it.
Let's just plump for a score and give it a score.
Yeah.
or you can come back and record it afterwards and insert it. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to give it a score of 3.8.
3.8?
I think that sounds about right.
That seems fair.
Yeah. I suppose if we do everything consistently, 38% would give that a 3.8.
I don't...
But then it'll go out of star.
It doesn't really
It'll be
work
out of 10
like that.
stars.
It doesn't work like that.
All right, well, look, we're tired. And that's the Theatre Bell, Vicky.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Right, which means I might try and work out these scores tomorrow, but that means we've been out of time. So
I think maybe you should add it in later on.
I think so.
Yeah. That'll be a treat for everyone, won't it?
Okay, so that's the Theatre Bell, which means we're out of time. I've already said that, so thanks for listening. I've been James.
I've been Vicky.
The curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre. Good night for the second time. If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com, find us on Twitter, and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.